stop. I'm going to show you how to lay out and complete drawings using parallel or angular perspective projection methods. Let's get started. We're going to draw a measured perspective drawing of this rectangular block. Okay, first thing we're going to do, as we would with a regular orthographic drawing, is to draw in the ground line. Next we draw the picture plane line. I'm using this scaled down silhouette of a person to show you the relative size of the block. Now the most important thing here is that we're using this scaled down silhouette of a person to put in the drawing exactly where the eye level line is. So now you can draw in the eye level line, or what we sometimes call the horizon line. There it is there. In a regular orthographic drawing we have the plan view directly against the picture plane line, but in a perspective drawing we want the leading corner to be facing the observer, and we can do that at either 30, 60, or in this case we're going to use 45 degrees, and we use those for convenience, as you'll see in a little while. So placing the plan view on the drawing at 45 degrees on the picture plane. Next what we'll do is we'll draw in an elevation, so we can take the heights from the elevation to construct the measured perspective. So this next stage is deciding where to place the station point, which is where the observer is standing looking at the plan view. Now here we've got the same silhouette of an observer that we used to get the horizon line earlier, and this is where I'm placing the station point. Now when the observer's looking at the plan, they're going to be placing the drawing, the perspective drawing, on that picture plane, the imaginary surface that sits directly in front of the plan. And what we're going to do is we're going to end up constructing the drawing with projection lines going through that picture plane. Let's see how that works. Okay, first of all let's mark out exactly where that station point is, which is just here. From the station point, what we're going to do is draw 45-degree lines. We're drawing 45-degree lines because they're parallel to the plan. If we had the plan going at 30 and 60 degrees, we'd be drawing lines parallel to the plan at 30 and 60. But here you can see both lines are going at 45 degrees up to the picture plane, following the line of the plan. What we do from there is we project these down onto the horizon line, and these will form our vanishing points. So there's the first vanishing point marked on the horizon line, and here's the second vanishing point marked on the horizon line also. Now back to the station point. What we're going to do now is draw lines between the station point and the main parts or corners of the plan. We're going to draw lines between all of the corners. In this case we're not actually going to draw a line between the back corner because that won't show on this particular drawing, as you'll see shortly. And what we're really interested in is where these lines cross the picture plane. I'm just going to put a dot where they do cross just to highlight that. Now what I'm going to do is to project the front corner of the shape. Now it's important to recognize that the front corner is touching the picture plane. I'm projecting it down, and that's going to be the same height as the elevation. So what we can do is we can project across from the elevation onto that line that I've just projected down from the plan, because on the plan it's touching the picture plane. Later, when the drawings become more complicated, we have one or two additional steps with that. Now you can see what I'm doing is from that height I'm drawing perspective lines between that height and the vanishing point on the right hand side, and that height and the vanishing point on the left hand side. So this block in perspective is getting smaller out that way towards the vanishing point, and smaller out to the left towards the vanishing point also. What we do is we're going to draw down from those points where the intersection is on the picture plane, and that shows us where on those lines of perspective it will come. And again, looking at the left hand side, where those lines come down onto the perspective lines shows us where we can construct the perspective view. So there's the one on the right. We'll darken that in just so we can get a better look at it, and we'll just start darkening the lines in generally. And on the left hand side, directly below the point on the picture plane, is where the line is. When we're doing this, the best thing to do is to keep the point on the vanishing point rather than just draw the lines in to get a more accurate line on the actual finished block. And just to finish off, you can mark this drawing as being the perspective elevation. Now, just to go over what we've done very quickly, in order to get this view, what we've done is we've considered the picture plane, which is the imaginary plane that the plan is getting projected onto here. And you can see the plan touching the picture plane. In some situations it doesn't have to touch the picture plane. And we're considering where the station point is, which is where the observer is actually standing, okay, the silhouetted observer. And bearing in mind we've identified the height or the scale of the observer, which gives us the horizon line also, and that's what he sees on the picture plane. And it's the same as the perspective elevation, which is different of course from a regular orthographic elevation.